I need your help. Yesterday I was struggling and I almost failed my daily art challenge. I repainted the piece 5 or 6 times and I did finally get something that I was happy with, and that was all good. So the challenge is still going, but I've came down to my favourite spot today and I'm still struggling to kind of feel that spark, the spark of inspiration, that little bit of magic that I usually see when I come to these places, and then I know exactly what I'm going to paint. So here's my thinking. I was going to save this to day 100, but we're on day 68 today, so we're just going to start it now. I need you guys to send me inspiration. So imagine I've got more than 500 subscribers at the moment as of today, the day we're recording this. We're getting close to 600, which is super exciting. But you guys are all over the world, so you must have forests and woodlands and plants and trees and flowers that are just wildly different from where I'm from here in Scotland. Even landscapes, even just general landscapes, seascapes, maybe even urbanscapes, just to give me something fresh and a challenge. So I'm really excited about this. At the end of the video, I'm going to share how I want you guys to submit those images to me. I am not promising that I will do all of them, but I will pick any that inspire me, and I will get those painted, and hopefully that just gives me a fresh spark and a fresh focus for this challenge. Other than that, in this video I am going to chat you through some of my favourites because I've not done a weekly roundup for a while. So instead of doing a weekly roundup, let's pick favourites from all of the weeks so far. Just maybe pick one or two from each week and chat you through that. So stay to the end. I'll let you know how to send me your images, and in the meantime let's go and check out some of my favourite pieces. Here are all of the paintings so far, apart from a couple which I have sold. Some of these are already up on my Folksy shop if you want to check that out, but let's pick a few of my favourites right from the beginning, from week 1 right up to now, and have a little chat about those. I've picked a piece from every week so far, as we have 10 weeks, so I felt 10 was enough to go through. So this is my favourite from week 1. This was my first attempt at the bokeh effect, and I absolutely love that one. And my favourite from week 2 is this magical, mystical forest. I love a fantasy forest, and this was the first one that I painted from this challenge, and I just really like the colours and how it turned out. So that's from week 2. And then week 3, this was a really unusual one for me. It was a little local path, and we still had some autumn colours. And the way I did the background was very different to the way I usually do things, and I really loved how that one turned out. So I might try a few more in that kind of style at some point. And then from week 4, I think this might be your favourite as well. This is one that is getting a lot of attention. The full time lapse video for all of these is available, but this one's certainly getting lots of attention. And again, a bit different. I went opposite colours. I usually work in lots of blues and greens, and this has got the reds and the yellows and then the greens at the front. But absolutely love that one. Delighted with how that turned out. Week 5, another of my bokeh effects ones. But again, I was just absolutely delighted with how these little snake head flowers turned out, and I did put a tiny little fairy in there for you guys as well on that one. And moving on to week 6, kind of going into my rainbow themed pieces, and making them even more magical and more fantastical. Is that a word? Fantastical? But yeah, just little fairy orbs floating about, but going for unrealistic colours with the pinks and the peaches in the sky and the trees in the background. Loving how that one turned out, and I did another couple in that kind of style since this one. So we are now on to week 7. I've done a few of these fairy houses and I will definitely do more, but again, absolutely delighted with how week 7 turned out. Just my favourite from that week. So many good ones that week because they were all round the fairy woods. So go check out those videos if you're interested in all the fairy stuff, because there's loads of them in that week. Week 8, I was roundabout doing lots of holiday weeks away. I was up in the Highlands, I was over at Dunoon, and it allowed me to paint some Scottish landscapes, which just blew my mind because it's not something that I've done a lot of. And I absolutely loved how this one turned out. This sunburst was real. I have a photo to prove it. The sun was high up in the sky. It was shining down on a rock pool and bam, magic. And I just feel I captured it so well. I was so happy, so delighted with that one. But again, there are loads this week that I was really pleased with. Across the Highlands of Scotland, so they're very different from the stuff that has been referenced locally. And we are now on to week 8. Nope, week 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Week 9. One of my favourites from week 9. I love a sunburst, as you can tell. We've got a couple of sunbursts going on. Again, I kind of started out doing one thing with this piece and then it just magically morphed into something else, and I absolutely love how it turned out. All the greens and the cool blues, it feels very spring-like, very of the time, and that was just one favourite from that week. And lastly, week 10. This is my favourite from week 10. It is the rainbow colours again, those peaches and pinks in the sky and the trees being blue, and then coming forward to more realistic trees in the front with a little magical deer in the background, which I did actually see in real life. So these are all on my daily videos. There is a full time lapse of each one, but that's just a little roundup of some of my favorites from the 10 weeks so far. I hope you enjoyed that little roundup of my 10 favorites so far. It was really hard to pick. I could have chosen more, but those are just 10 of the ones that I'm really happy with. If you want to be part of this challenge, then please do send me your images for my inspiration. You can send them via DM on any of my socials. You will find me across all socials at Elm Bee or at Elm Bee Art. You can also post them on the community tab here, and if you tag me, I will see them. And if you want to send them to me directly, you can email me at elmandbee@gmail.com. So it's elmandbee, all one word, ELMANDBEE@gmail.com. I cannot wait to see what you guys send me for inspiration so that I can keep painting. I'll pop all the information you need in the description below. I'll see you in the next video. For now, thanks for joining. Stay magical and have a great day.